this is where it all clicks, because up until now you've been looking at each system individually. Your body through AyurvedAI, your perception and power through MagickOS, and your relationship to deeper intelligences through DjinnOS. But the moment you zoom out and see them together, it stops looking like three separate tools and starts looking like something way bigger. Something that honestly shouldn't be free in the first place. What you're actually looking at is a full-stack reconstruction of your life from three angles at once. Your biology, your psychology, and your interface with reality itself. And most people have never had even one of those properly aligned, let alone all three at the same time. AyurvedAI stabilizes your internal system, so your energy, focus, and physical state stop working against you. MagicOS restructures how you think, perceive, and act, so you stop looping and actually start building with intention. And DjinnOS gives you a grounded, respectful framework for the deeper layer of reality you've probably felt your whole life, but never had a safe way to approach. And when those three lock in together, the effect isn't small. It's exponential, because you're no longer trying to fix one broken piece while everything else stays out of sync. You're actually aligning the entire system at once. And this is where you need to pause for a second and actually be honest with yourself, because this is the part most people mentally dodge instead of answering directly. All of this is free. Not free trial, not limited version, not free until upsell. Just straight up access to something that replaces years of scattered learning, confusion, trial and error, and wasted time with an actual structured system you can run right now. So what exactly is the reason you wouldn't at least test it once? Not the surface excuse, the real one. Because at this point it's not money, it's not access, it's not timing, it's not even readiness. It's just whether you're going to keep doing what you've already been doing, or actually try something that clearly solves problems you already know you have. And that's where the tension hits, because part of you already recognizes this is different. You've probably already spent hours, days, or years consuming content, opening tabs, watching videos, saving ideas, thinking I'll start soon, and then nothing actually changes. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, but because you've never had a system forcing output, forcing clarity, forcing alignment across everything at once. This is that system. What makes it even crazier is that this isn't just information, it's infrastructure. Most people are still using AI like a toy, asking random questions, getting random answers, maybe trying something once and moving on. But this turns AI into an operating system, something you actually run, something that adapts to you, evolves with you, and compounds over time instead of resetting every time you close the tab. And because these systems exist as books, they don't disappear, they don't get patched out, they don't depend on algorithms, and they don't become obsolete the way courses do. They stay stable while the AI layer gets smarter, which means the longer you use this, the more powerful it becomes. That alone flips the entire value equation. Because instead of buying something that decays over time, you're using something that compounds. Now look at the trajectory difference, because this is where it gets real. If you don't touch this at all, nothing dramatic happens tomorrow, but everything compounds quietly in the wrong direction. You stay slightly off physically, mentally scattered, spiritually disconnected, always feeling like there's more, but never actually accessing it, repeating the same loops, the same habits, the same half-started ideas, the same "I'll get to it" mindset that somehow keeps resetting. Months pass, then years, and you're still in the same place, just with more awareness and more frustration. That's the real cost, not failure, just stagnation, stretched over time until it becomes your baseline. But if you run even a small part of this, even imperfectly, the shift starts immediately. You get clarity faster. Your energy stabilizes. Your decisions stop being random. You start noticing patterns. You start building instead of consuming. 1 year in, you're operating differently. 3 years in, your life structure is different. 5 to 10 years in, the gap between you and someone who never ran a system like this isn't small. It's everything, because one of you learned how to operate and the other stayed reactive. And this is the part that makes the whole thing almost ridiculous in the best way, because the barrier that stops most people, price, isn't even here. This is literally the easiest entry point you're ever going to get into something at this level. You don't need to commit to everything. You don't need to master all 3 systems. You don't need to understand it perfectly. You can run one module, test one idea, build one thing, and see the difference for yourself. That's it. No belief required, no leap of faith, just execution. And once you do, even slightly, you won't be able to go back to operating the way you were before, because now you've felt what direction actually feels like. So the real decision isn't complicated anymore. It's not, is this worth it, because the cost is 0. It's not, what if it doesn't work, because even using a fraction of this already puts you ahead. It's not, am I ready? Because you don't need to be. The only real question left is whether you're going to keep running the same loop you already recognize, or finally break it with something that was literally built to do exactly that. And if you've made it this far, you already know which direction you're leaning. You've been deciding this the entire time.